Hey friends, it's Ruben with Hi-Fi MIDI. This is Ample China Guqin, a 12GB Shennong-shape Guqin sample library performed by artist Ning Lu. It features 3 articulation groups, head, body, and auxiliary, 5 microphones, a new 7-string Riffer designed specifically for the Guqin, a Guqin tuning system, 3 play modes, instrument, keyboard, and open string, infinite legatos, and voice-independent SATs modulation system. The sample library uses Ample Sound's proprietary host software, which works on Windows and Mac OS in all major DAWs, and in standalone mode using the included Rectangle software. So let's get into it. If you've seen my other Ample China reviews, you'll be familiar with the whole concept of the head group and body group articulations. The head group articulations are articulations that happen at the beginning of the note. So here on C0 we have sustain, and you're going to hear some of the notes are going to be open and they're going to have a harder attack and a different timbre than the non-open strings. So it has more of a bite. So I was told that achieving this tone is very difficult on this instrument. So every sample in this was meticulously played and recorded, and they got all the best samples so that every single note on here is going to sound perfect, basically. This has a beautiful tone. It's almost harp-like, just a little bit brighter, but the tone sounds even across the entire instrument, except for the open strings. Here are natural harmonics. Beautiful. And then on D0, we have a short tremolo. Going up, we have slide in from below. This is velocity sensitive, so a high velocity is going to trigger a fast slide in, while a low velocity is going to trigger a slower slide in. Next we have a slide in from above. By the way, the interval of the slide is going to be dependent on the key that you're in up here in the corner. Because a lot of Chinese music uses the pentatonic scale, it's going to be based on or restricted to the pentatonic scale. And then starting on the amber keys, we have our body group, which are articulations that occur after a note has already started. So let's say I start with a sustain, and then I want to change the sound or the technique mid-note. I would use the body group notes. So I'm going to go ahead and play a sustain, and then trigger the legato slide up on F0. As you can see, once you start using these together, you can create so many performances with it. And here is the opposite, which is the slide down. Again, this is all based on the key. And then slide up and return, otherwise known as a mordant. And then here's the opposite. And then we have vibrato. This is going to be velocity sensitive as well. The lower velocity triggers a variable speed vibrato. And then the higher speed is going to be more consistent. And that scratchy noise that you hear can be adjusted in the effects section. Next is virtual legato portamento on A# 0. And this is going to give you more control over the speed of the slide. And this is velocity sensitive. So the higher the velocity of the second note, the faster the slide. Then the next one, open. This is part of the auxiliary group. This is a really cool one because you have two articulations happening at the same time, which gives it a more interesting performance. This is the one I used in the beginning in the demo. This is open plus slide in. While pressing it with low velocity triggers, slower open and slide in. I think this is one of my favorite ones. And then we have glissando. So we start with slow glissando up, open strings, and then fast gliss up on the open strings, so it has a brighter tone, and then a glissando down with the open strings, and we have a slow gliss up with natural harmonics, and then going to a fast gliss up with natural harmonics, and then a slow gliss down with natural harmonics up here. Then we have a fast gliss up with natural harmonics. And then a slow gliss down with natural harmonics. And then a fast gliss. All beautiful articulations. Finally, we have licks, and these are performances by Ning Lu, all the way from A sharp 1 to F5. And I'm not going to play all of them, but this is going to give you an idea of what this instrument can sound like. And finally, This is a really beautiful instrument. It's very unique, but there's something about it that reminds me of instruments that I'm familiar with, like the harp or the nylon guitar, or even the banjo in some way. And I don't say that to insult the uniqueness of the instrument. This instrument has about 2,000 years in Chinese history, and this specific instrument that was recorded is very expensive and high quality. I think it was about $100,000, I believe. So it's a very special instrument, especially for Chinese culture. And let's continue exploring this instrument. Up here in the green, we have our effects. So here's a slew of effects, starting with F#5, and that's going to be the hit top. Then we have hit rim, slide up effects. It's pretty cool. Glissando natural harmonics effects. The instrument just sounds so organic. And then here's another one. Glissando open strings effects. This one is called River. It sounds very windy like a river. Then natural harmonic effects. I'm not sure what HP stands for, but here it is. Slide effects 1. I can really see this being used in a film. And then slide effects 2. Then we have scratch on F6. Then we have strum effects. Pressing is going to cut off the note. And then we have mode triggers up here, which I'll get into in a little bit. So as mentioned before, we have 5 different mic positions, and you can access them here. They're going to give you different sound images. But you could also adjust the levels of each mic, solo them, mute them, and EQ each individual channel. Here we have our effects controls, so if you don't want to hear all that squeakiness or scratching sound in the instrument, you can take that off. Adjust the release, the finger attack. This is going to give you a slightly different timbre. We have 3 different playing modes. Instrument mode, which you heard right now, which follows the conventional rules of the instrument. Now, I'm in no way familiar with this instrument, so I can't really tell you exactly how it works, but I can assure you that the folks at Ample Sound studied this instrument extensively. I believe it took 2 years to create this. Then we have keyboard mode, which I'm very familiar with, which lets you play it like a keyboard. So the playback is going to be unrealistic, but it's going to be easier to play. So in open string mode, A#1 through G#3 consist of open strings. So you're going to get that stronger attack sound, more resonance. While everything above that, E3 to F5, is going to comprise of harmonics. Then you have legato mode. So automatic slide, and this is going to trigger a slide when you hold 2 notes together. beautiful. And here are the string assignment keys so that you can choose which specific string you want. This is going to give you a slightly different tone. Just like on a guitar or a bass, how you select a different string with the same note, and it's going to give you a different timbre or tone than another string with the same note. Now let's go to Riffer, and Riffer has been redesigned specifically for this instrument. Here you have all the strings, and it has a special tuning. What's different is that now you have effects, auxiliary, and legato line at the bottom. So by clicking it, you can see the list of all those articulations that are mentioned before. Here are the auxiliary, glissando, slide in plus open slow, and the lick. And then the effects line with all those that I played earlier. Now, if you go through the presets, you're going to get a performance that shows you what this plugin can really do. And I'll go ahead and play some of those for you. This one's called The Drunken Madman. I like it. Really cool. Glimpse of the heavenly. Now, one thing you can do with these, the Ample Sound solved in the last update of their guitar software, is to be able to drag this into your DAW, and it's going to play back exactly the way you heard it in Riffer. And this is very difficult to achieve because it's using multiple MIDI channels at the same time. So you're converting all those channels into one. This also lets you see what's going on under the hood. So all the things that Riffer is doing, these are all the notes, all the articulations or commands that it's giving, and it will play back exactly the way you heard it. Now, as mentioned earlier, this has a key function that allows you to choose the key you want to play in. And a lot of the articulations that are restricted to the pentatonic scale will be based on this. So this gives you the option of all the keys, and it's going to change the notes depending on that. All in all, Ample Sound does not disappoint in the quality of their instruments. As stated in the other Ample China videos, I'm not an expert on these instruments. However, I do know a good sample library when I hear one. The audio quality is just impeccable. This instrument is extremely expressive. I do have another Guqin library, and it comes nowhere near the expression of this one. This one goes into the depths of the instrument, and that's what I respect about Ample Sound, is that they pour so much research so much art and craft into their sample libraries. This is a beautiful instrument. Well, friends, I hope you enjoyed this demo and review of Ample China Guqin. Please hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed this review. Consider subscribing if you're new to my channel and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with my latest reviews. Leave a comment below, tell me what you think about this instrument, and feel free to share this on your social media page. And also, please visit hifimidi.com for MIDI programming courses. Thanks for watching.